Let's play.
Well, welcome back, viewers, to another episode of Let's Play Sacred for the PC. With me, Bezlonir. We are starting out toot sweet in post-commentary mode, as we sort of just took a break in media action. And we're on the 6th bounty that happens to be the 6th. I think I put up a note on the last thing there in random order, so this is a Minotaur up in, when I first tried this particular bounty, I was like, oh, that's a pond? Like, I thought that was I don't know, like a water lily garden or something, so the description says, look for a pond, and I'm like, okay, a pond, and it's like the same thing of like, you talk to people like on the East Coast, and like what they think of as like a river is like, this is a big ass thing. It takes like 2 minutes to drive across. It's like, bam, man, it's got a big ass bridge on it and shit. And you talk to somebody who's like from the West, like Colorado, where I'm from, and like what a river is like basically you could throw a rock across it. So it's like if somebody from the East Coast saw something like that, they'd be like, oh yeah, it's like a creek. It's like a creek. But to us it's like a river, which is it's also funny. Like, we had this when I grew up, the town that I grew up in, we had this cafe when I was a kid, like in high school. I used to like to go there because they had poetry readings, I think on Friday nights or something. So it was a cool little place to go and express my teenage angst. I'm so mad I can't get any ass. Why? I snap my fingers. I'm like, don't girls see how awesome I am? This was before emo, so I couldn't be like, I'm emo. It's like, it's a thing. It wasn't a thing. But not that, being like a loner or whatever is like it's kind of been a thing, generally, just different terms, what have you. But so then I came back several years later to the town where I grew up, because I'm a loser, so that's where I always used to come back on vacation. So and then I see that they made that coffee shop it closed. The coffee shop closed, and they made it into a scuba shop. So I was like, wait a minute, a scuba shop in Colorado. So what are you gonna do? Go like 10 feet down in one of these tiny little lakes and be like, oh, a catfish and some used condoms. This was totally worth spending money on scuba gear for. You just have to wait 3 hours at the bottom of the lake for the fucking mud to clear, and then like some kid jumps in, he's like, cannonball. You're like, fucker, I just waited like an hour and a half. I'm trying to scuba dive, and they're like, loser. You're like, it's so true. This vignette has been brought to you by the gin in my glass, which I noticed I was listening to my premiere recording, which this should provide you with a slight timeline of how the differing uploads and when they were recorded. That wasn't exactly English. I noticed in my premiere episode of Hardcore Noob that I heard the tinkling of ice in my glass a few times. So now you hear that tinkling again, and it is a sort of Pavlovian cue for you to drink if you should like to do so. We'll have to come up with some drinking game for the Bezlonir's Lair. That's what it is, Bezlonir's Lair. Man, years I did this YouTube channel under just the name, the stupid fucking name that I made to like make a comment on a YouTube video. It was like, whatever. It was like your fucking email name or something, And I was like, and then that was there, so I was like, after a while they were like, oh, now you can change your channel name. And I'm like, well, how are people gonna find me? And then when I came back this time, I was just like, you know what, screw it, man. I probably lost all my viewers anyway. Like I still have a bunch of subscribers, probably just because they haven't noticed. Like, once they're like, oh, wait a minute, like, fuck that guy, who the hell is this? Then I'll just lose those. Which is probably the reason why I just bounced like back and forth. I'm hovering around 250 subscribers. But, I mean, I don't really deserve more anyway, so... Oh, maybe I should pay attention to what's going on. So we needed Sakkara Priest, who is in this place that was really hard to find to the east of Gloomoor. It said it was like something about gates to hell, and like, fuck you, man. That shit doesn't mean shit. That shit is shit. Man, that's half of what made this thing hard, but I just went to, I just googled, like, bounty quests, and it took a few different search terms to find what I think was probably a pretty old page, because this isn't, like, the newest game with the most currently active following, so, oh, there you get to see some more of that lovely tearing from the Dark Elves. Every time that you fight Dark Elves, almost, just about every time you fight Dark Elves, there's, like, tearing that just comes off of them. I don't know why. It's obviously a glitch. So yeah, I found this old website that mentioned, it had the coordinates, and then it said, well, you could press Control F to bring up your coordinates, which I'm sure I mentioned last episode, and that's so that's pretty handy, you know. It's handy dandy. Yeah, I was gonna make a hand job joke there, but I couldn't really think of a joke. All I was thinking was like, man, I'd like a hand job right now. And Rosie Palms was like, I got your back, bro. I was like, damn, Rosie Palms, you got a deep-ass voice. She's like, shut up and take this shit. And I was like, okay. So that's how I got molested by myself. Well, actually, that's more like a preview of the future. I'm sure that'll happen at some point. I like that little fan of green, like, goop. Okay, so yeah, I see I kind of like cut out about 5 minutes of myself wandering around, quitting, and I had to splice in a different video because I stopped recording to go Google. And then, as usual, this guy was like anticlimactic. So I can tell you, I think, I don't know if I've had the video in regular motion, if you've been able to notice, I think you get about 13,000 XP for each bounty on this level of difficulty, and I can tell you in gold you get about 34,000 experience. Not that much gold, but it really doesn't matter. I can't believe I almost died there. I just saw the little flash. I'm like, this is around the point. I got like halfway through these bounties, and I was like, man, I gotta do like some off-screen gear running, because it's also the reason why you may have noticed that I was just like, I started this whole like strafing strategy, and I was really worried it was gonna make your eyes bleed when you watch this video, because I'm just like constantly running through packs of mobs, which is kind of cool in a way. It's sort of interesting, but I was worried that it would just like be terrible to watch. But basically the reason for that was that my defense got really low. Like, I'm like level 45 or so now, and I have like 700 resistance, which is really low. You have to consider that's also with my character being on a horse, which is just bad. It's a bad defense. And I think my life steal was also really low. It might have been around 10%, which is pretty low. It's more ideal to run around in the neighborhood. Ahaha, you'll see, I'm learning. I just remembered to move my mouse. Haha, I'm learning. I see what you're doing, computer. Because if I don't do that, it's gonna go into sleep mode again. The screensaver will turn on, and I could turn it off, but then, 5 days from now, I'm gonna forget that I left my monitor on, and I'm gonna burn it out when I go do something else. I don't know, like go to work. Who knows? I'm a forgetful person, so need a screensaver to save my screen. Oh, I forgot to follow what's going on again. So here we are at this guy who's above the arena. He's not very hard. He's at the same place where that lady's stupid sister was, who was, I don't even know what her deal was. She was like, I can't find my way 5 steps back to the arena. Well, thanks for the friggin' gold and shit. Made a quest out of that. You want me to go find your fucking sandwich? Hello, greetings, adventurer! How fortunate it is that you happened upon this location where I happen to be in the living room of my domicile. I require some hearty adventurers of brave mind and spirit to venture out upon these dangerous landscapes and fetch me a sandwich from the kitchen. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. These fetch quests are getting ridiculous. The NPCs are basically saying, go get me a sandwich. Shit. Did I forget to speed something up again? I hope I didn't speed up the wrong thing then. God, this is like... Oh, well, this is a pretty short trip, so it's not that bad. I just gotta go down to Faeries Crossing, I think. Which is like the next town south. God, I can't believe I did that again. Yeah, I can. You don't understand. If you were... Yeah. I'm surprised I don't screw this up more. It's pretty, like, everything looks the same in my editing software, and it's just like this big mess, and I'm just like... Basically, I'm just like counting on my fingers and trying to remember numbers. And I've got a pretty small window to see everything in. You know what? It's better than Windows Movie Maker, so... What do you want? I'm not spending $600 for an editing software. What am I, made of money? I wish I was, so people would finger me. Oh, man. This is another one of those situations where I'm like, I'm doing this recording, I'm like, God damn, I'm being boring. And then, like, I'm gonna watch back through it and be like, Jesus, what the hell was I talking about? Ridiculousness ensues. You never know. When I'm doing these, it never really feels like, oh, that's solid gold. But, yeah, sometimes when I watch it back afterwards, I'm like, wow. Well, I was just hanging out at the store with somebody a few days ago. A girl I have a crush on. But, you know how that goes. And it was like, she was like, mentioned something I said like 2 seconds ago, and I was like, what? So, because the way she said it was like, not, referenced as though it's something I said. I was like, what are you talking about? She's like, you just said this and that. I was like, I don't know, I'm talking out of my ass constantly. I don't know what I just said. I never know what I said. So yeah, when I watch back through these videos, it's like, stuff and things, I don't know. I can't believe I said that. Not like I'm not scandalized. That would be weird if you were like scandalized by yourself. You know, like, I am such a rapscallion. Oh, verily, I shall censor myself. Did you enjoy when Patrick Stewart did the voice in Oblivion? Because I was kind of like, I don't know, it's like, oh, it's Patrick Stewart, and I was like, yeah, it's kind of anticlimactic, and it's, honest, I don't know, it's kind of shitty dialogue. It's like, I'm over it, you know? I was over it as soon as I was into it, you know? It's not like, I don't know, there's some actors that could just like, God, I want to say like Christopher Walken, but not necessarily, but maybe like Harvey Keitel, or just, what's that guy, Mickey Rourke. They just like, they take bad dialogue and they're just like, they make it sound good, because they just like make everything sound natural. I'm tired of these motherfucking snakes on this motherfucking plane. That's not one of them, but Samuel Jackson's cool. Yeah. I just said that because I made a Samuel Jackson reference in the titles in this video when I was making it, so that was on my mind. But that Samuel Jackson impression, I don't even know if I would call that an impression, so there's really no comment in that regard. What can you say? This is a very odd time of day for me to be recording. I just touched my mic. damn it, I'm doing it again. Stop it. Oh, I'm compelled. The power of Christ compels me to touch my microphone. Apparently that needed to be slightly Irish. There was like a second of Irish in there. My accents are just like, it's just like slipping in and out of a little hint of this, a little hint of that. It's like a mixed drink from an amateur. It does the job, but it might make you puke, you know. No, it doesn't do the job. I forgot the booze when I was making all the mixed drinks. Oh, they were all Shirley Temple. Sorry. Fuck you. That's the only sin of drink making. Oh yeah, that reminds me. The other day, I went to the liquor store and I was like, I'm gonna get some cheap wine. I'm gonna get some rot gut wine. Yeah, I'm just gonna drink like that, you know. And I was like, okay. So I went over to the red wine section. And there was this rack, like in front of the wine. That had some wine that was on display, and I was like, it was like $7. I was like, yeah, it's in my price range. I just picked it up, you know. I started walking away. I was like, whatever, this FRE sounds good to me, and I was like, it had a good sign and stuff. I was like, yeah, it sounds tasty. Then I was like, wait a minute. It was like Sesame Street in my brain. I started to spell it out. I was like, FRE, F-ray, F-ray. Free. What the fuck? Oh, damn, I looked down at the bottle. It was alcohol-free wine. Ooh, man, saved the last minute from that travesty. Can you imagine? I would just be like, drinking that and, God, I'm gonna get drunk at all, man. Or what if I was just like, I'm so drunk, and then I did something really embarrassing. I'm like, I'm sorry, it's totally the wine, I'm so fucked up right now. And then somebody picks up the bottle, they're like, this doesn't have any alcohol in it. No way, I'm totally trashed. I'm so messed up right now. God. I just did that thing and like realized I'm not alone in the house, and I started to I was like being loud but not being loud. It's gotta sound weird. It's like I don't know. It's easier when you just could be loud, be unrestrained. It's like you don't want to be self-conscious. Like I strive to be the kind of person who's not gonna make somebody self-conscious. Like, hey, you know, if you wanna sing to yourself, yeah, it's cool. I'm not gonna criticize you. I don't expect Celine Dion or Michael Jackson, you know. It's cool. Sing to yourself. Why not, you know? Whatever makes you happy. If it feels good, do it. If it feels good, do it. Love that Billy Zane quote. Demon Knight, motherfucker. Hell yeah. That movie was great when I was a kid. I just wanted to see titties. That's why I liked horror movies when I was young. 'Cause titties! You know, don't lie. You've all watched a movie just to see some titties. You've all done it. Yeah. Let ye who hasn't fapped throw the first stone. So I was thinking about, and I'm kind of too lazy to know so we gotta get a troll. Yeah, so we gotta get a. I was thinking about getting a webcam from like Walmart or something. Yeah, I was thinking about making a video. If I do decide to do that, I probably will have made and uploaded that video by the time that this recording is published. So that's one of those weird timeline issues. Man, this whole thing, bounty quests, well, they're not quests, but the bounties. The quicker, thicker, picker, upper, which is totally not the jingle. That is totally not the jingle. That's the thing. I can't remember which is good in a way, because it like frees up my memory consciousness to be not connected to, you know, referential things. Like inventive, maybe, you know, because I don't remember anything. So in that way, it's all good, but it is, I can't really make references. There's only like 2 movies or and one of them's a porno. It's actually could almost be true. These poison trolls are pretty good for XP. I actually like, unless your class or the build that you've chosen is not very good for it, I like fighting those dark elves a lot. They aren't too hard. The only problem is a lot of times they have a cast put a lightning tendril on you. I don't know if it's much problem. Oh, I wonder if it affects anything. I notice every time my editing software scrolls over, like the little thing that keeps track of the time that the video is on reaches the end of the little aperture, then it flips back over to the beginning and scrolls it. It like causes this weird slowdown. I don't know if that affects the ultimate video. I do worry that the visual quality of my videos is going to turn out crappy. Like, I don't want it to be like jumpy and weird. It should help. It helps a lot. I can actually have a computer. I don't know if I've mentioned this before. Yeah, I got a computer about 1.5 years ago. Bought it. I bought it from Cyberpower PC online, which is, so that's one of those places you can go and kind of like specify the components and everything, and they'll build it for you. Which can be one of those situations where they'll give you enough rope to hang yourself on, like you can. You know, it's a good idea to, if you don't know much about computers, like me, to start with one of their pre-built packages and then like modify it from there, because if you just tried to start from scratch or something, you might do something stupid and get the wrong kind of RAM or something and it wouldn't run, or you'd forget to get something crucial. But yeah, this thing is like, it's like, it's so high, it's so tall, it's almost like halfway up to my thighs, and it weighs like 50 pounds or more. It's roughly 3 times the size of my old Dell. Yeah, it's cool though. It's got liquid cooling. It's pretty powerful. Decent GPU in it. I'm a total slacker, so I haven't cleaned it, like used the force air to clean it out ever. So it's really dirty. I need to clean it out. It sort of takes a little bit of the shine off the like red LED lights that are on the side in that little plexiglass window, so that's, you know, theoretically kind of cool. Of course, it's also in a spot where you can't really see that, and honestly, those sorts of things are like, that's the kind of thing that's like cool for like 2 weeks and then you never look at it again. So it's kind of neat. It's like really like you walk into somebody else's house, or what you want somebody else to walk into your house and see that and be like, whoa, dude, that's so cool. Do you mind if I just smoke a bowl right now? Just like stare at your computer, man. And you're like, totally, man, knock yourself out. You know, that's my computer, man. So tight in it. Get like a little blacklight poster up on your computer or something, you know. But it's long term, you know. It's like putting a sticker on your computer. It's the same difference, you know. It runs, it does the things you want, or it doesn't. Yeah, so this is gonna be the last bounty in this video. It's just this magician in the Mystdale Zoo, which I don't think I showed before. And as it so happens, I got a really good bow off of him, so it's pretty cool. It's got like 7% life steal on it, which is always nice. That helps free up runes and stuff like that, so you don't have to dick around with all that. Of course, while you're leveling, you know, you can only use that for like 10 levels or so before you really need to get a better bow, so it's a little hard to hang on to that. The chances of finding another one just at a higher level is probably not too great. You know, when you're leveling, you just kind of have to take what you can get, you know, until your leveling slows down enough. I don't know, whatever. I'm just filling up these last few seconds by just talking about whatever, so yeah, we're gonna turn this in. That's pretty much the end of this video, so what else is there to say? Stalling for time. Yeah, this has been another episode of Let's Play Sacred with me, Bezlonir, and I'm glad you joined. Just now, I'm gonna check my microphone. Yes, it was on. Good. That's awesome. Good time to check your microphone.